Hey YouTube, Rick Wilson here. We're going to talk about Forrest Fenn's gold. Somebody found it a couple days ago, which really sucks because I was about to go get it here in September. Just a couple months away. I was going to get it. I've gone after it twice before in the past. The first year we went is Yellowstone. I think it's in Yellowstone. I'm going to explain that to you here in a minute because they're not revealing where it was yet, even though it's been found. So I'm going to tell you where I think it is and give my solution. I've kept it secret until now, but since it's been found, let's go for it. Everybody put their solution out there. Everybody go on YouTube, make a video where you think it is, and then when they finally reveal where they think it is, let's see who wins. Anyway, I think it's in Yellowstone. And anyway, we went there 2 years ago, and we waited to the last day, and I overslept, and we didn't have time. So and then last year we went, and I hiked an 18-mile round-trip hike to get to it, but I got within about a mile of it and ran into water where I did not expect water that I didn't want to try to cross. I probably could have crossed it, but it looked like it was about a half a mile of solid water, and not knowing how deep it was in places, I just decided to turn back. I told the wife we'll go back this year, which was going to be this September, with a canoe. I was going to spend $1,000 on a canoe and do it the way the poem says. But let me show you how I solved the poem. Now, when I originally solved this poem about 3 years ago, I did it in just like 20 minutes. It wasn't that hard. It's actually pretty simple. I read the entire poem. Let me read the entire poem once, real quick. Just we'll read it so anybody's not familiar with it, then you'll hear the entire poem, and then I'll explain how I solved this poem. It starts out, as I have gone in there alone. Let me start over. As I have gone alone in there, and with my treasures bold, I can keep my secret where, and hint of riches new and old. Begin it where warm waters halt, and take it in the canyon down, not far but too far to walk, put in below the home of brown. From there it is no place for the meek, the end is ever nigh. It'll be no paddle up your creek, just heavy loads and water high. If you've been wise and found a blaze, look quickly down your quest to cease, but tarry scant with marvel gaze, just take the chest and go in peace. So why is it that I must go and leave my trove for all to seek? The answer I already know. I've done it tired and now I'm weak. So hear me all and listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold. If you are brave and in the wood, I give you title to the gold. Okay, first thing I started. Now here's how I solved this. Okay, the first thing when I was looking at this poem, I told my wife the most important line in the poem is like at the end of the poem. At the end of the poem, he's basically telling you found it. You know, here it is, you found it. And right before this line I'm about to give you, he says, listen good. It's the only place in the entire poem he says, listen good. So hear me all and listen good. Your effort will be worth the cold. I told my wife, cold is in the name of the place. I said, it's pretty simple. The word cold is in the name of the place. So, next thing I did was I kind of researched Forrest Fenn. Studied about how he grew up. He spent a lot of time in Yellowstone. His family went there every year. And they would leave their camping equipment in the middle of the wilderness in Yellowstone. They had places where they would go and they would hide their camping equipment and leave it till the following year. And that way they didn't have to take it all home and bring it back. And that's how good he knew the area in Yellowstone Park. He basically grew up there all the time with his family. And so he would leave his stuff there and come back the next year, nobody would bother. They could find, I thought, well, he could find hiding spots right there in Yellowstone so good that they leave their stuff like that. So that's where he basically hid the gold. So then I took an old map. It's about a 40-year-old map of Yellowstone, and look for anything with the word cold in it. And there were two things in the entire park I could find that said cold. There's Cold Creek, which is over on one of the resurgent domes, where there's a lot of people actually. So, and then the other cold was Cold Mountain Creek, right off of Lake Shoshone. Pretty remote. I bet that's it. So then I started looking. Well, if it is Cold Mountain Creek off of Lake Shoshone, how does that fit in with the rest of the poem? See, I found the location first just by using that one line, the word cold, and knowing that he knew Yellowstone. So I immediately went to Cold Mountain Creek. That's the only place I could find in Yellowstone with the word cold. But then if you work backwards from there, begin where warm waters halt. Okay? Right there at the end of Lake Shoshone, it's the Shoshone Geyser Basin. I got a video this just a month or so ago. I put on a hike to Shoshone Geyser Basin. It's like a 16-mile hike, and I was looking for the gold. That's why I went there. Okay, and I chose to try to hike there, and instead of going the way the poem says, across water. Okay, so anyway, began where warm waters halt. Okay, all the warm water from the Shoshone Geyser Basin dumps into Lake Shoshone. Okay, and the lake is a pretty cold lake. It's a deep lake. It's a huge lake, and it's full of really large brown trout. The largest in the United States are found right there in that lake, Lake Shoshone. It's known. It's always been known as the home of brown because of the size of the brown trout. And okay, you put in below the home of brown, by the way, right after this part we're on here. Began where warm waters halt. Okay, the water from all the geysers dumped into Lake Shoshone at that end of the lake. But that same end of the lake is where Cold Mountain Creek comes into the lake. Okay, so you got warm water and then cold water from Cold Mountain Creek dumping into the lake at that point. So you began where warm waters halt. You're at the beginning of the canyon, Cold Mountain Creek Canyon, where the water hits Lake Shoshone. That's the beginning point for your actual walk once you're out of the canoe. Okay, and it's not far, but too far to walk. That's why you got to take the canoe to get to this point. Now I did walk it this last year, and it is pretty damn far to walk. It was like a 16-mile hike, and then to get to the gold was another 2 miles. And then I ran in, I didn't put this in my video, I'm going to show you a piece of film I shot after Shoshone Geyser Basin. I was going to the gold, and then I ran into this. I ran into a marsh with reeds. Water started getting about knee deep. You can see kind of trails through it. I thought about doing it. The gold was, you can actually see where Cold Mountain Creek starts. And the gold was up at the canyon. And but I was afraid there'd be pockets of water that I could be over my head, and it's a long ways. And I decided, well, we're going to come back and go the way the poem says. I didn't expect that entire. I just didn't expect it. So anyway, so next, Lake Shoshone, home of brown. We done talked about that. Here it says, it's no place for the meek, the end is ever drawing nigh. That can mean always going up. So to get to Lake Shoshone, Lake Shoshone is really remote. There's another lake down below Lake Shoshone. You got to put your canoe in there. You cross that lake, you get to the other side, and then there's a 2-mile stream that connects the two lakes. And that stream is about waist deep, about up to here. It's about up to here, deep, and it's fast moving. You cannot paddle it. No motors are allowed in either lake at Yellowstone. So you have to paddle with a canoe. That's the only way that's legal. And you can't paddle against the current. It's too strong. So what people do that want to take a canoe up to Lake Shoshone, they paddle across the first lake, they get to this stream, they get out of the canoe, and they grab the canoe like this. They're standing in water up to here, and they drag that canoe 2 miles, walking through that water to get to Lake Shoshone. 2 miles, you basically walk and pull your canoe to get to Lake Shoshone. And From there is no place for the meek, the end is ever drawing nigh. There'll be no paddle up your creek, just heavy loads and water high. Yeah, all your crap is in your canoe and you're pulling it with water up to here. That's what that's talking about right there. And let's see what else we got down here. Again, let's jump back. Let's jump back to the end of the poem where he says, listen good, your effort will be worth the cold if you're brave and in the wood. Now, I've read all kinds of crap about if you're brave and in the wood. All you gotta do is look at the treasure chest. Look at the treasure chest and what's in it. It's full of old gold coins that have Indian heads on them. Braves, Indian braves. So, if you're an Indian brave, then you're in the wood, like stuck into the wood. They give you title to the goat. It's at your feet. So, wherever the goat was, he took a coin out of the box, stuck it in a tree. Probably clearing off of the tree, which is what's called a blaze. Back in the old days, the Indians would put blazes on trees to mark the trail. The shape of the blaze would tell you which way to go, right, left, straight ahead. It was a language, like in the shape of the blaze. So, well, I know a lot of people say the blaze is not that kind of a blaze, but I think it is. And I think he stuck a coin in it, right out of the chest. So you have to look for a blaze. Go up Cold Mountain Creek. I suspect as you go up Cold Mountain Creek, there's some hot spring tuft that has come up from hot springs from thousands of years ago. There used to be actual live hot springs there, and what's left of them is still there, and they would still be white and show up as you go up Cold Mountain Creek. I suspect that would be one. I think there were actually a couple blazes, and I think that's one that kind of marks the spot. And then up the hill to the right is there's a resurgent, small, tiny little resurgent dome from the volcano right there, because it is, Yellowstone, it's a volcano. There's a dome there. It's a hill in the canyon, but at the top of the hill, there's a round actual dome, and it would be lots of crevices, because as that has grown and expanded, the ground is open up. It would be crevices everywhere up there, rocks, plenty of places to just drop the chest down into a crevice. You wouldn't even have to bury it or nothing. You could just drop it into a crevice where it wouldn't be seen. And then there'd be plenty of trees growing right up there too, that you could carve the blades on one and stick a coin from the chest in it. And let me see if I've left anything out. I've gone alone in there. Now see, Cold Mountain Creek off of Lake Shoshone, there's no trail, there's no actual trail there. There's a trail that goes around the lake, but it doesn't actually go up Cold Mountain Creek. So once you turn up in there, you'd be alone. And then the warm waters halt, because you're right where the Shoshone Geyser Basin dumps into the lake, and you're then going up Cold Mountain Creek. Take it in the canyon down, because that is a canyon. It goes all the way up. At the top of that canyon is the Continental Divide. And he's given additional clues since his poem. I think they said the altitude was like 7,000 something other feet. Well, the altitude of this entire canyon is right in there. Every clue he has ever given fit this spot. So, let's see if I've left anything out here. Yeah, I pretty well covered all the clues that are in the poem. And the spot where it is, you can see that he got a map actually on the poem that's in his book. I put the colored spot right there. That's actually where I think it is. So it was actually on the paper that he put in his book. It would show up on the map, a little bit of map he showed. And that's it, but we'll have to wait and see. And it's going to suck if that's where it was, because I was going to have it in 2 months. And I'm pretty sure the location is just a matter of finding the actual chest and where did he actually put it, within a mile or so. But that's what I think. Anyway, see y'all later. We'll have to wait. I'm sure at some point they'll reveal the exact spot. So that's what I think. Everybody else put out what you think now. Don't keep it a secret no more. Let us know, because the gold's been found. So let us know what you think. We'll see who all was right. Let's go.